Hello everybody and welcome back to the survival world. Halloween's over, so I think we should take down our Halloween decorations at some point, which is pretty much just a ton of pumpkins we scattered everywhere. We'll also switch out of our Halloween skin and go back to our old skin again. And so for the actual video, what I want to work on is this thing over here, which is our super smelter room. And so I want to actually get the real super smelter in here, which I shown in the Halloween video we cleared out the area for. And so in this video we're actually going to be working on that. And so the area where I think it's going to be placed is right along this wall here. It's going to be our full big super smelter. I'm also thinking about having some smaller super smelters along this wall here. Maybe some stuff with some of the other blast furnaces and smokers and things we could have on this wall. And so for this wall we're going to place in that, but I think we should get the actual floor in, probably the actual structure for the super smelter, and then we could place in all those furnaces and hoppers, and then all the redstone for that. So I was just collecting the furnaces we're going to need for this build, and I hear zombie somewhere right around here, and there shouldn't be anywhere a zombie could spawn. Check down here, this looks all good. So I think I'm going to try to find out where he is first, because we don't want to have any spawnable spaces in our new base. So I'm guessing he's right down here underneath the floor we have. Hopefully it's just a zombie and not any type of creepers or anything. Well, we could light this place up a bit. This place always gets knocked out because the water keeps flowing down here as I'm going around messing with stuff. It sounds like he's somewhere right around here. So I finally found him after being swarmed by way too many cows. I think we're definitely going to need to get rid of these guys sometime soon. And the reason we actually have these guys is I needed to fill these spaces right here with cows. And I really only needed 8, but I thought it'd be fun just to completely fill the area with them. But it's not fun, they're actually getting so annoying. So anyway, I'll take out this guy. He's already has a cow that jumped in here. We could light this place up and not have to worry about that again. So now we could get back to work, and one thing that I'll actually need to go and do is we have a cobblestone storage from when we dug out this entire place right behind here, and we're going to need to collect some cobblestone from there because we're going to need a lot of furnaces for this thing. Because not only for the super smelter do we need furnaces, but we also need it for the floor I'm actually going to be putting in, because we're going to be using furnaces as a decorative piece for that. And so our cobblestone should be right down here, and we should hopefully have a ton here. Yeah, it looks like we still have quite a few chests of that. So I've been working on collecting up some of those building materials, and what I was actually just doing now is clearing out the space where I want to put in the sea lanterns, because that's going to be our main light source for the floor of this thing, to keep it all spawn proof, because we're going to be using furnaces and andesite as floor blocks, which are spawnable. And so this will just be an entire row of sea lanterns that just goes right here with glass on top to light up the entire floor. So I just laid out all those sea lanterns, and if we go and look at the floor height we have right here, you can see it's actually a block below, because we're going to place glass on top of here, which will make it equal with this. We also have these floor blocks right here, which is also equal with this. What I plan on doing for those floor blocks is just a checkered pattern of furnaces and polished andesite blocks. And so I usually try not to do checkered patterns, but I feel like it should look pretty cool with this, with the little outlines each of these two blocks have. So what I plan on doing is just extending the checkered pattern, going down the entire length of this thing, and just filling it all in with these different blocks. And so I just ran out of about the 2 stacks of furnaces we had, and this is the amount of floor we gotten done so far. So I want to take a look to see how this is turning out so far. And I think this is looking pretty cool. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, another 4-block wide pattern of this. And then I think it's going to be some stone brick stairs going along here to kind of outline the floor space. And then past those stairs we'll have the actual super smelter built up in the rest of the area, and the same on this side. And yeah, I think that should look pretty cool, so I'm going to go make some more furnaces and get the rest of this filled in. So everything's coming along pretty well, we got most of the floor in place, and what I'm going to do next is place in the stone stairs that go around the perimeter of this thing. But you can see we have all the furnaces and andesite in place, as well as the glass and the light sources below that. And it's starting to look pretty good, and so now these stone brick stairs just go along, and I believe it was this way. And so yeah, I'm just going to do that around the entire thing. And so now we're pretty much finished with the entire floor. This is the area with these sea lanterns and stone brick that marks where the super smelter will start. So the furnaces I think will actually be in this column right here, but the structure in front of it will end up right here. And so the amount of room we have to actually walk is from this stone stair all the way over to this stone stair, which is a decent amount of room, and then the 2 walls will just be filled with furnaces. I'm pretty happy with the way this thing is looking and turning out so far. And so now I think that we can actually get to work on building up the structure, so just the blocks for the super smelter. So all this that I just built up, if anyone hasn't seen some of the previous videos, is going to be the start to the whole super smelter. I'm also thinking we're going to have the output chests, so all the smelted items somewhere around here, maybe underneath or something like that. This is where everything gets loaded up, and then this is where all the furnaces are going to be. So that's the actual function of the system. This is all just to start it off. So I just placed in a few more structure blocks for what it'll look like underneath the furnace. You can see we had this little arch that goes over the light, but it's mostly just stairs and stone brick going underneath that. And also this is the first furnace, but we'll have plenty more going off this way. And so now what I think I'm going to work on is just building up the starter segment right here. And so I'm just going to start off by just building up all of the stuff you'll see up here, all the stone brick and all the windows and things, and I'll check back in when I get that all done. And so this is what I was talking about. This is just the exterior wall of the build, and it gives you access to some of the different functions of the super smelter. And so right here we're going to have a minecart storage, and so those are the minecarts that will roam across here, filling up all the furnaces, and when they're not being used, they all kind of end up in a big pile right here. We're also going to have our smelting chest where we place in all the items we actually want to be smelting. And then right here we're going to have the fuel chest to have all the fuel we could place in to actually smelt those items. And this is just a little window to look through, same as all these. There are just some ways you could look at some of the different redstone bits. And so speaking of the redstone bits, I think that'd be a good thing to work on next. It's quite a bit of redstone that's going to be going on back here, and I think it all fits within this 3-block space. Let's start work on that and start to get the function of this thing up and working. So I've been working pretty hard on all the redstone back here for the smelting items, and I think I got everything all done. I haven't ran any tests yet, so I think that's what I'll do next. And so I just added in some minecarts, which are right behind these stone bricks right here, and so it should be all ready to go. So I guess what we gotta do is just load in a ton of items into here, and see if they actually pass through, if everything seems alright. So I'm gonna go grab a ton of, we got a ton of polished andesite, and I'll place all that in. And I guess we'll just see how everything reacts, because I have no clue what could even go wrong or what could happen. So let's head back here. Oh, and I just realized already we don't have any of the rails powered. So yeah, I gotta get that done first. So now that the rails down there are all powered, I'm gonna refuel the minecarts. I'm already messing stuff up. I'm gonna refuel the minecarts into here. I'm not even sure what's going on. I think I broke a block right here. Let's collect those, and we need a block right here. So yeah, pretty much I'll refuel these and we'll test it again. And already there is a problem. The minecart shot all the way down to here, and so I'm guessing that this piston is either in the wrong spot, or no, it must need it needs a block in front of it to stop those minecarts. So yeah, I just gotta go through and double check all that. Minecarts are back in, and we're ready for our third test. And so let's grab the polished andesite. I tossed into here real quick, and we'll load all those in. We'll go take a look at the back and just see if the minecarts are getting filled to the proper amount. So I'm hoping everything just works, because we've already had a few. And yeah, this is not looking good already. So what I'm guessing is that this block right here that's holding up all the minecarts needs to not be a solid block. So I'm going to take that out, replace it with some glass, and then we could just try again. And after breaking the block, I realized it was just a pretty dumb mistake. This is supposed to be a sticky piston, and it had no way to retract the block. That's why none were getting dispensed out. And the reason I had it not be a sticky piston is because before I thought they'd be sitting up on top of the piston. And I don't know, it's just kind of complicated. So I think if we swap that out, everything should be alright. So here goes attempt number 4, and so I'm going to load in all these. Let's take a look at this. I can't tell if anything even happened. Go look back here. Yeah, something didn't work. After loading in those smelting items over and over, I finally got a minecart to be dispensed out. And so I have no clue what's going on now. I think it's something with this. This is what actually lets them out. And so whenever this retracts and extends again, it lets a single minecart out. So yeah, I'm really confused. So I just moved the observer and this T flip-flop from this block to this block here. And I'm going to try it out again. I don't know if that would actually really change much. Let's see what happens. Yeah, not good. So I think I finally actually figured out what was going wrong. There was a few other things I had to fix up. Some smaller issues, but what it looks like what's happening is this chest right here powers the comparator, powering this block right here, which is all good, but then this redstone dot right here powers this solid block, and this needs to be a transparent block, and then this either through quasi-connectivity or bud powering powers the piston down here, locking it and not allowing this to depower it. And yeah, so pretty much I need to swap this out with a glass block. So here goes attempt who even knows anymore. So hopefully when I add these in, it dispenses out a minecart. I'll try to add in all at once like this. Oh, that's looking pretty good. So this thing should be spit out with 80 items. Somewhat, yeah. Or no, 70 items, I think. Alright, well now things are getting all broken, but I think that's working. It's hard to tell. So now here we go again. I cleared out this area so the minecarts don't get all piled up. I think it was working. All I want to see now is how many items each minecart ends up with. So let's load in those. You can see they're draining out. That's pretty good. And let's see what this one ends up with. 70 items. I'm pretty sure that's perfect. Let's see the next one. What just happened there? Oh, it's loading into the other minecart. Oh, that was really weird. Alright, so let's see. That's 3 minecarts worth, I think. Okay, this is starting to get confusing. So although that was a bit hectic, I think everything was actually working how it should. I'm going to add all these together to see if we ended up with 70 items in each one. So that's going to be 70 times 5, and so we should end up with 350 items within all those different minecarts. So I'll go add that all up and see if everything was working. And so after checking everything, we have exactly 350 items in here, which is just perfect. That means that each one of those minecarts was getting loaded up with the 70 items it needs to, for the 70 furnaces we're going to have going down this thing. So that's pretty awesome. I think we got it all working. And so that's just the first starter segment for loading in all the smelting items. But yeah, I'm really glad that's working because this is a pretty complex one. So I would say I've shown you guys enough of the redstone trial and error of this thing. So I'm going to work on the fueling redstone just off camera, and I'll try to get most of this done. And so then I'll check back in when we're going to work on adding in all the furnaces, and then the structure for this thing, and all the hoppers and rails that go on top, and start to get this whole thing put together. And so one thing that I actually want to quickly say is that this is just my design of a super smelter. I built it up in a redstone test world, and I've shown it in an earlier video. And so I've just been looking at some pictures I have of that to kind of mimic it and just recreate it in the survival world. And see, that's what I've been doing, and that's why I know where everything goes and the amount of stuff we need. So I just wanted to clarify that because I haven't really explained too much of why I'm placing everything everywhere and how I'm getting all the ideas for everything. So everything with the redstone back here seems pretty good now. I think I got both the circuits done, so both the fuel circuit and then the smelting item circuit. And so what I want to get done next is the little foundation we have for the super smelter, which are these stairs and stone bricks down here. And then also probably add in all the furnaces stretching down along this entire thing. And other than that, we have to place in all the hoppers, which is something I'm kind of worried about. We'll have to make a ton of hoppers. Shouldn't be too bad though. And I think we're actually getting pretty far along with the super smelter. And if we get this whole thing up and working in this episode, I'll actually be super happy. And that would just be pretty awesome. So I'm just about to finish up the final few pieces of this. And wow, that really shows just how crazy this thing will end up being. And so there's actually 71 furnaces in this entire thing. I added in an extra just that way if the minecart hopper ever gets one extra item, it'll have a place to put it instead of looping back around with the item still inside, which is something you wouldn't want to happen. And so it's all looking pretty good now. I'm going to make all those hoppers, which will need 3 for every single furnace. So 1 for the fueling items, 1 for the smelting items, and then 1 out the bottom for the fully cooked items. That's going to be a ton of hoppers. That's 3 for every single one of these, and there's 70 total, so that's 210 hoppers. So I'm going to go and make all of that and add all those in, then we should be able to add on these rails up on top. So I've been working pretty hard over the super smelter, and I've actually got things pretty much wrapped up. What I want to do now is run a test. So I think I actually have everything as far as the function of the build ready to go, and all I should have left to do is just finish up some of the cosmetic stuff. So just make it look good from the outside and all that type of stuff. But I'm really happy with the way the thing turned out, and it should be a huge upgrade from what we had over here. And so why I'm actually here is because I brought a ton of shulker boxes, and I wanted to load up on a lot of sea kelp to go and test the super smelter. We could cook all that into dried kelp, and then actually have that be the fuel for the system. And so over here we have our sea kelp farm, which we really haven't been to in a while, but it's been working away every single time we've been here, and because of that we've really loaded up on a ton of sea kelp. So I'm going to collect as much of this as I can, and we can head over to go start cooking that into dried sea kelp. So I just loaded up on as much sea kelp as I could possibly hold. So we filled up every single one of the shulker boxes I brought, which should just be a ton. I'll actually drop some over here. So let's head back to the base and we can start using this super smelter. So we're back at the base, and this is what we have going on here. You can see I've started on some of the structure for what's going to be here when we're finally all done. This is what it's going to kind of look like. We still need a window here and some background stuff, as well as some more stuff up here. But it starts to give you a pretty good idea of what it will look like. And so as far as the actual function of the build, the super smelter itself, I'm pretty sure it's all ready to go. There could still be a few bugs we need to work out, but it seems to be working alright. What I think I'll do is I'll just get an entire shulker box worth of this stuff and load it into here, and we just see if everything all works, and we could go and collect all those items. And yeah, I'm just hoping that this entire thing works smoothly. So here it goes. I just threw all the sea kelp from the shulker box onto the floor right here so that way I could quickly load it all into here. So let's see what happens. So there goes in all the sea kelp. You can see it's getting drained out of here right now. If we go look across here, there's one of those minecarts. You can see all the furnaces kicking into action. It's all looking pretty cool. There goes the next minecart. So that should go around and it should perfectly fill in this entire thing pretty much. It looks like it filled in the final furnace. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Oh yeah, that should be alright. Okay, so let's just go check on all the items we're getting from this, because this should just be producing an insane amount of dried sea kelp. So I was actually running this system earlier, and I ran into some problems because I tried to sneak back here to look at all the stuff getting cooked, and I bumped one of the minecarts, which messed up everything. But here's all the cooked items. You can see them getting collected down here, and I actually got the idea of having the system like this from Mumbo Jumbo, and so that's similar to the way his item sorter was built up. Looks like I actually picked up something weird. I don't know, maybe some smooth stone or something. But here's what I already have for somewhat of a storage down here. Get rid of this so I could add in another chest. And I want to see exactly how much this thing is producing, how quickly. And so already that's how much it's produced from when I started this thing. And you can see how much is just going into my inventory. So yeah, this thing is going to be so awesome. So now that we got everything working over here, I feel like I've shown you way too much of this super smelter. I want to go do something pretty exciting, and it's honestly something I'm a bit terrified to do. But Grian on the Hermitcraft server has started something called Demise, which is a big server-wide game they're all playing on the Hermitcraft server. And to kind of spice up the game a bit, he started something called Demise Dares, with 4 different dares that the hermits have to complete in order to get a certain amount of diamonds. And so what I want to do now is go and try a few of those dares. So I'm going to work on constructing each of the things he had built up and trying them myself. And so some of these I'm actually pretty terrified to do. And also all the items have been added into those furnaces, which means that no more minecarts are traveling through anywhere. And it looks like everything packed up all just how it should. If we go and look here, yeah, the final minecart ended up just right there. So it's all really good. The system shut off just how it should. I'm really glad to see that. And one more thing I just realized is that we better get rid of this guy, because if he bumps one of those minecarts, he could really mess up the system. So I finished building up each one of the dares, and these are all built exactly to scale as what Grian had it on the Hermitcraft server. So I went and counted each block of the water tube, each block of the lava thing, and I also saw exactly how much scaffolding he was using for his test he did. So I think we're all ready to go. I'm going to drop off all my stuff, all the stuff I have in here, and into a chest, and I think we could do this. So that's everything put away, including my armor. The only thing I actually have now is just an elytra and some fireworks, because the first one of these dares that I want to do is the one where you have to fly through the lava tube. And so the whole goal of this one is you go flying up into the air, and you need to go gliding right through the lava tube, obviously without falling into the lava. So here we go. I'm going to get all charged up first, and I'm just going to try to go in, make this smooth. Here we go. Ooh, that was close. And so there it was, dare number 1 completed. We made it through the tube. And so just in case you guys think that this doesn't really have any consequences, if I die, I'll lose all 130 levels I have right now, which I really don't want to do. And even on some of these, like the one I just did right here, I would lose an elytra, which I would really not want to do. And then one of the later on dares I'll show you is even more terrifying. And so for this next one, I'm taking off the elytra, because this time we're actually going to be doing the water one right here. And so for this, the whole goal is to go into here, and all you gotta do is break out of the top of this thing, which are just some ice blocks. And you're trying to get pulled down by all these different magma blocks, and you're drowning at the same time, and so it's quite a challenge. I think I might go for a bit of a stress monster strategy with this one, but we better just go in. Alright, here we go. Could have done that a bit cleaner. Oh, you can see how fast this thing will break. I'm getting a bit scared. Alright, we're at about half bubbles. I think we're gonna make it. Yeah, easy. There we go. Didn't even lose any hearts at all. That was pretty good. Oh, and I actually just realized something. I actually have to disable all the beacon effects because I had haste while doing that, so I was actually cheating. So we're gonna have to do that one again. I made it through so easy is because I had the haste from the beacons here. So I'm gonna go clog all those up. I'll go replace the ice, and we'll do this again fair and square. So now we have it exactly the same to the way Grian had it in his world. So let's go again. Same strategy. And yeah, I think we got this. So he's got to break through. I don't know why I'm sliding all over the place. Yeah, this is taking a lot longer, I could tell. We're down to 3 bubbles. Alright, now it's starting to get actually pretty scary. Yeah, I think we got this. Oh, we got it. I didn't want to do what Ren Dog did and fly off the edge, but we made it. And so that's 2 out of the 4 dares done. If this was on the Hermitcraft server, Green would owe me 50 diamonds for doing both those. We haven't died yet. I think the next one we're going to do is the totem jump. And so I'm actually going to be using a totem. And so I might want to go refill that by doing a raid sometime soon. But let's go grab a totem of undying and we could try out this one. So I just grabbed a totem of undying and still we don't have anything else on us. No armor or elytra. And what I gotta do now is climb all the way to the top of this tower, which is about 2.5 stacks of scaffolding. I'm gonna climb all the way to the top, toss this little guy right off, and then my goal is to go jump after him and catch him before I hit the ground. And so I just made it all the way to the top, and this is definitely one of the dares I do not want to do. It's terrifying even just moving around on this thing. And so what I'm gonna do is toss this off, count 1, 2, 3, and jump after it. I'm not gonna wait too long because I'm not messing around. Here we go. So cue it, 1, 2, okay, I went way too early. No, oh, I barely got that. We got the post-mortal achievement. Alright, so I kind of cheated there, I went way too early, but I got scared, honestly. But I did not think I was going to catch that, that was too terrifying. So I'd say I didn't necessarily complete that one, but this one is also a bit of a weird one, where the timing each time is a bit different, so it's hard to calculate if you're actually doing it the same. And so for our final one though, we gotta head over to the end. So I'm gonna collect our elytra and probably our armor, bring it all there, and then we could get prepared when we make it to the end for one of the scariest ones and the one I want to do the very least. So before we go and do this, I want to quickly heal up the elytra. So we'll go over to the XP farm real quick and then we can make it to the end portal. And I've already made a huge mistake. I didn't bring any sword with me. I only brought my armor, so I'm gonna have to punch these guys by hand. And quite surprisingly, punching them by hand actually seemed to work out pretty well. So our elytra is all healed, and I think we're ready to jump into the void. And so here's the little access we have to the end portal. I'm really regretting not bringing any tools, but I think we'll be alright. And so I'm hoping it's just right down here. Looks like we actually lost a snow block right here. Oh yeah, we're all safe. Alright, here we go. Man, I'm acting so dumb. I didn't bring any type of ender chest or chest to even put my armor or anything in. So I guess I can't just toss them on the floor, it might despawn. This is a bad idea. I could head back, and I don't know what to do. Looks like we actually have some spruce logs randomly on one of our portals, so I'm gonna go try to collect those to make a crafting table and a chest. Gotta make sure not to aggro any endermen. I'm already having to deconstruct the end, this is not going very well. The good news is there's enough randomly placed spruce planks there to make both a crafting table and a chest. Ooh, XP. So I'm going to make that chest now, and then put all my gear in it, and then we're ready to do this. So here we go, I'm taking off everything except for the elytra, and the only thing I'm going to be taking with me are rockets. So the goal for this one is I need to make it all the way down to Y level -65, which is pretty far down. As soon as you get past that, I think you start taking damage. So this looks like a good spot to jump. I'm so terrified, this is the one I do not want to do. So here we go, let's double check, make sure I'm actually wearing the elytra. You can see right now we're at Y level 57. So here we go, I'm gonna jump. Oh man, I'm so scared. Alright, I chickened out. Oh, that's close, that's close. I'm doing this like such a baby, we just... No, no, no. Oh, that was dumb, that was so dumb. That was really, really dumb. Alright, I did it. Kind of like a baby, kind of quite skittish and scared, but we did it. I'm not messing around with that again. And so we did it. That was absolutely terrifying, and I never want to do that again. I think that's going to be it for the video. I don't want to look up because I do not want to look into any Enderman's eyes. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. We got that super smelter up and working, which is so awesome. I'm really excited for that. Before, we've just been using those 2 little ones we had in the skyscraper, which were kind of outdated, and I'm glad we're getting something better in place. And then we did all 4 of Grians Demise stairs, which would earn us a total of 200 diamonds if we actually did it for real. And I never want to do those again. They were terrifying, and great job designing those Grian. I had a ton of fun, but it was also very, very terrifying. So I want to thank you guys for watching the video. See you guys next time. Yeah, see you later. And jumping into the void, what was I thinking?